Today, I just felt like talking about something a little more serious, I guess, and personal about myself. I think I hold a little bit of an unpopular opinion. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sav, if you don't know who I am. I like to consider myself a minimalist, which, if you don't know what that is, it's difficult to define because it's not the same for everybody. But I would describe it as a lifestyle choice where you don't hold as much value on materialistic things. And I find that important because I just think it makes the more meaningful things in life more meaningful. Once you get rid of all the clutter and junk and items that you consume in society today, I think it just really whittles down what's really important in life. And I find that valuable. This is really just a stream of consciousness in my brain. I didn't really plan out this video that much, but I want my niche on YouTube to include the travel side and the fun aspect and DIYs and things like that. But I'm also very much an environmentalist, and minimalism kind of plays along into that. And so I just want to use this as a platform where I can share knowledge and hopefully inspire people to live a more sustainable lifestyle. So that's kind of where I got this idea. I have some notes typed up in my phone, so I'm kind of going to just reference this a lot. I probably started this journey in high school when a teacher of mine gave me a book called The Minimalists, I think is what it was called. I will try to link it down below because I know the two authors also run a podcast that's really good. I highly recommend if you're interested in this kind of topic. But it kind of just opened me up to the idea of living like a bare, simple lifestyle that just like gets rid of all of the unnecessary brain space, I guess. I know me as a naturally organized and cleanly person that I get really anxious and in my head a lot when I just have a really unorganized space and I have stuff lying around all the time and it's just a mess. And so like a coping mechanism of mine is like to clean and organize when I'm like frustrated or upset or anxious. And I always just get this urge to like purge all of my things and just get rid of stuff that I don't need because it makes me feel like I'm getting rid of a weight on my shoulders. So I guess that is how I would describe it, and I've kind of continued growing up after reading that book into being intentional with that mindset. And I always hate the feeling in the back of my head when I have something lying around that I don't use enough. It doesn't have enough value for me to keep it here when someone else could be using it better. And that goes along with like buying new things. When I'm shopping for an item, I always ask myself, do I really need this? If it's another shirt, do I have enough shirts that are like this where I won't need another one? Is it really worth the money? And it can work a lot into your finances as well, because living a minimalistic life, you're not, spending a bunch of money on unnecessary items. And therefore you can also save money for better quality items. But I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. Minimalism can sometimes be considered a practice because it not only is a mindset and a way of thinking, but it's also a way you carry out actions, such as throughout consumerism. So I would consider it a concept and a lifestyle and a preference for the way you'd like to live. It may be kind of hard to understand how minimalism plays into environmentalism and how it's good for the planet in a sustainable lifestyle. So I will kind of try to explain that a little bit. The basis is, if you're not buying a bunch of cheap items all the time that are just furthering the industry, such as fast fashion or just cheap quality goods, like unsustainable items, I guess. If you were to buy 5 good quality, more expensive items compared to 20 really cheap items that you go through a lot faster and they don't last you as long as, and they wear and they break and they're just not good quality, they're just going to go straight to the landfill, and that's not doing you any good because you're just constantly having to buy more items, and it's not doing the environment any good either because you're just going through the cycle of consumerism, of buying things and using them and then discarding them. And so it's just kind of an idea of spending money on higher quality things or secondhand shopping to get more use out of an item before it goes to the landfill. I think what scares people the most with the phrase minimalism is they get this idea in their head that they have to live out of a van and own 1 spoon and 1 fork and maybe a couple shirts and 2 pants. But that's really not it at all. I mean, that can be how some people want to live that life, but I would not say minimalism is all or nothing. I would consider it as a spectrum, and you can kind of decide on your preferences and your accessibility and feasibility of living a minimalistic lifestyle. You can kind of choose to your extent how committed you want to be. It's up to you to choose the sacrifices you want to make for the environment and for yourself. And everybody has their own preferences on what they are available to do in their situation, whether it's with finances or with accessibility to better products. I think it also discourages people from feeding into consumerism because I think that's a large part of our society these days, especially with Christmas coming up. Everybody has the idea of wrapped presents under the tree, obviously, because that's the American tradition or the Christian tradition. But I mean, I think Christmas can be a lot more than that. It's a lot of time spent together, quality time and experiences, and just showing love and appreciation towards the people that you care about. And I wholeheartedly believe in upcycling Christmas gifts, hand-me-down Christmas gifts, DIY Christmas gifts, like homemade things, or investing in something high quality, which I know can be hard if you have a lot of people to get gifts for. You can't spend $50, $75 on every single person, so you kind of have to pick and choose what you're going for. But I personally have a really hard time with Christmas because of my minimalist preferences, where I would not prefer a materialistic gift from somebody unless I knew it was something I would really use and like. And that might come off as like picky or I like have high standards, but that's kind of what it is. I wouldn't want someone to give me a gift if I'm not going to use it. I'd rather have nothing, to be honest. And so I try to gift very intentionally. I don't want to just, spend $20 here, spend $20 there on something they might get around to using every once in a while. I want it to be something that I know they will use, I know they will cherish, or it has a lot of meaning. Towards the end of the video, I'll give a couple sustainable, minimalistic Christmas gifts that you can give, although I know it's kind of late in the season, but if you need some last minute things, they might be some good ideas for you. So when it comes to choosing what products you want to buy as a minimalist, you have to think about more than just the object that you're buying. You have to think about the entire cycle of production. You want to think about where it came from, who is making the products, who is investing in the industry, and as well as the materials that go into it. Those can also play a big part. I think it's really common these days for people to not pay attention to what goes into products and the materials that are used for them, whether they're healthy or sustainable. I'm sure a lot of people don't look at the labels on their makeup products or the food that they're eating. And maybe you do, and that's great, and I just think that should become a more common, accepted thing. But that takes a lot of time to change in your lifestyle. So when you're looking for items that are high quality, probably a little more expensive, most likely more sustainable, not always, but sometimes, you also want to think about brands that you're proud of. When you're buying a product from them, you're exchanging for money, obviously, because you're making a purchase. But that money is supporting that brand. That's feeding the demand for those products. So the more people that buy reusable straws or other sustainable products, that's increasing the demand for those products, and they'll be created more, which makes it more accessible to other people. So when I think about purchasing things, obviously everyone likes to look for the deals and find, cheaper options to stay in a budget, but I kind of have to keep a bottom line that I'm not going to pass, especially when it comes to fast fashion, for example. It hurts myself to support brands that are unsustainable. H&M is a good example. I think they have a conscientious line now, and I can't say I've done all of my research, but from what I have read and heard, H&M isn't a high quality brand. As you probably know, a lot of their products are relatively cheap and affordable, which can be great, and they have really good basics. They have plain colored t-shirts, plain colored jackets, a lot of just basic items that if you're going to use for a long time, then that will be worth it. But the quality of their clothes just isn't that great, so it would be more sustainable to invest more money in a higher quality product that will last you longer. I will also probably link below some brands that I personally approve of and I support with my money, but I'll just get into some Christmas gift ideas. Okay, so I have 6 little gift ideas for not necessarily minimalists, but they can help the process towards transitioning to a minimalistic lifestyle, and they're also very sustainable gifts for the environmentalist in your life. I will start with this probably. This is a DIY product that I make all the time. I don't know where I got the idea first, but my family buys a lot of these mason jars at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, anywhere like that. And my mom uses them for cooking. She makes jams and things like that. But I like to make this bath scrub that is made with coconut oil, sugar, and some sort of essential oils or loose leaf tea. And what it does is the coconut oil moisturizes, the sugar exfoliates, and the tea or the essential oils just give a nice scent and aromatherapy. So it's super easy. You can buy all these products at Walmart. I just melt some coconut oil on the stove, put it in a jar, add some sugar, and make it the consistency that I want, and then add a few drops of essential oils. And I put it in a jar, and it's a super easy DIY gift. Men can use it too, but I would say it's probably mostly women-oriented. But I love it. I use it all the time in my shower, and it's obviously cheap and super easy to make, and people can reuse the jars for whatever they want. Next, I have these produce bags, reusable produce bags for veggies, fruits when you go to the store, rather than using those plastic bags that they have. But they have different sizes. I'm pretty sure, I think I got these on Amazon. So you can find them wherever you search them online. But they're pretty handy. Obviously, someone's probably not going to get super excited to get these in their Christmas stocking, but they're very practical. Another thing that I get on Amazon all the time are bamboo toothbrushes. You can buy these boxes of like 12, and sometimes I'll give these as Christmas gifts. I'll like stick them in people's stockings just like this. They're individually boxed. But depending on what kind you get, you can get bamboo toothbrushes that have charcoal infused bristles. They obviously last you a long time, or you have a stash like this in your bathroom. Another thing I got from Bamboo Switch, they're based out of St. Paul, Minnesota, and you can buy these 100% cotton pads for removing your makeup. I don't know, I think it came with 24, but obviously this is dirty. They're just these little cotton rounds that you can also make these yourself in a DIY. You can look up a video on how to make it. But I just have this, you can use micellar water, you can use makeup remover oil or liquid of some sort, and then you just put them in this little baggie and you put them in the washer, and then you can reuse them. This is another one. These are called dryer balls. They replace dryer sheets because dryer sheets take a long time to break down in the landfill. And so you can reuse these as many times as you want. You can put essential oils in them to give it a little bit of a scent. They pretty much just like keep the static out of your clothes and keep things soft when you tumble in the dryer. You can get different colors. Pretty sure these are 100% wool. I believe I got them as a gift from Amazon. Also kind of cool. And then last but not least, everyone knows that reusable straws are very in right now. The silver are actually my roommates. But I found these copper ones on Amazon because I just really like the copper look. But you can find retractable reusable straws, you can find rubber reusable straws. There are so many options nowadays because the demand for them has grown. But I keep them in my purse, I keep them in my backpack, I take them when I go to get coffee. I use them at home all the time. In our household, we just don't really use plastic straws anymore, so these always come in handy. So that's my story on minimalism, I guess, and how it's entered my life and how it could enter yours. I thought this would be more interesting of a topic because it's kind of more serious, I guess, and informational, educational. Anyway, please let me know if you have any other sustainable Christmas gift ideas in the comments below. And let me know if you have any questions about minimalism or environmentalism or living a sustainable lifestyle, and I can try to do my best to answer those. Make sure, if you like this video, that you subscribe, like, give a comment. I'd also love to hear what else you guys want to see. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.